You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network. You're Godzilla of the Truth in America. We're with Corey Lewandowski. He's the author of two best-selling books, Let Trump Be Trump and Trump's Enemies. You can buy them. Just go to our website, John Fredericks Radio, click on it there, and you can choose Amazon or your favorite bookstore. That's the easiest way to buy them. Two must-reads, former campaign manager, Trump for president. Corey, you talk about the Horowitz report coming out. Rumors swirling around Washington is that Horowitz is going to recommend in his report indictments. And by the way, Mueller didn't recommend indictments in his $35 million effort. But rumors are swirling that Horowitz has evidence of criminal activity, maybe on one of the characters that you mentioned. Have you heard that?
John, I can tell you that my sources are telling me that when Michael Horowitz's report comes out and submits it to the Attorney General for review, there's going to be multiple criminal referrals in that document. I believe, and I don't know this for sure, but I believe, and what my sources are telling me, is that Carter Page and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page are both going to be referred for criminal referral. Andy McCabe, who was referred last year for criminal referral, the former deputy director of the FBI before he was fired, is going to get another criminal referral. And the hardest case to make right now is that against James Comey. I am certain they have him for perjury. There's no question about that. I'm certain they have him for leaking classified information because he's all but testified that he's done that. He's also leaked information to the media, which is against the protocols of the FBI. But moreover, they have him, I believe, verifying and validating the dossier that was used for the Pfizer application, Carter Page, because he signed that application as a verified source of information, never disclosing it was paid for by an outside source, particularly the Clinton campaign. So all of those things are criminally liable because you signed that Pfizer application under the penalty of perjury, meaning you put your right hand up and you've sworn to everything inside it to be factually accurate. We know now that that's not the case. And if you've seen the rats scurrying, because that's what they're starting to do now, what they're saying is, and Jim Baker, the former general counsel of the FBI, said this, well, anytime you go back and relook at what took place, you can always find that errors were made. And then he went on to say, everything that I did, I believed to be legal at the time. These guys are all covering their own backside, John, because they are so afraid that when the Horowitz report comes out, you will see multiple criminal referrals. And I think the timing is going to be that by March, April, and May of next year, 2020, the election year, either these people have cut deals, some of them, or we will be watching a trial take place of the former director of the FBI where he will have to go in front of a jury of his peers and explain to them why he lied and spied on Americans. And I think at the end of the day, you're going to see Comey either cutting a plea deal and pleading to something lesser so he can turn on whoever his boss was who ordered this to happen, or Jim Comey going to jail. That's where this is going.
So criminal referrals that you see potentially, Comey, McCabe, Peter Strzok, Page, right? These are all...
I think James Baker, who was the general counsel of the FBI, we know he was leaking information to the media, to sole source documents. I also think that Bruce Orr is potentially complicit in this. And look, just recently, because of the work of some great people, we've seen some of the State Department emails which were handed to the FBI saying that Christopher Steele was an unreliable source. They notified the FBI of this. But the real question is, John, where did it all begin? Mm-hmm. And we know that Christopher Steele met with the State Department before he ever went to the FBI. Mm-hmm. We know that they alerted the FBI that this person wasn't credible. We also know that the FBI continued with the investigation regardless of the warnings that were provided from the State Department. So there had to be someone higher than Jim Comey and Clapper and Brennan who was directing this to happen. And the only building that had the authority to do that would be coming from the White House. So, again, it's potentially Ben Rhodes, the Deputy National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, the National Security Advisor, or someone higher than that. Maybe it was the Chief of Staff. Maybe it was, the former president himself. I don't know. But what we do know is in order to give the order that all three of the heads of our intelligence community start investigating American citizens and looking into this Russia hoax, the Crossfire Hurricane program that the FBI was running, it had to come from the highest levels of the government. And we have seen now, John, and they're not public yet, but they will be, we have seen the email traffic with a number of senior government officials on those emails, and one name and one name only continuously is blacked out, redacted, not provided to us. And based on the number of people who were in the meeting and what those emails say, we believe that individual who is blacked out is either the president or the vice president of the United States.
So it's either got to be Biden or Obama.
That's right. And look, not one person has asked Joe Biden what he knew about this investigation yet. He was the vice president of the United States. It is the single biggest, scariest witch hunt, abuse of power in American government history. It happened on Joe Biden's watch. And he says the government failed you. I agree. It absolutely did. He has not been asked one question on the campaign trail, what he knew about Brennan and Comey and Clapper spying on Americans, and I want to know his answers.
We're going to find out. Corey Lewandowski, we're out of time. Corey suggesting that when this is said and done, it's going to get all the way to the White House. How far did it go? Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Ben Rhodes, Susan Rice. Where did it go? That's, I think, the story here, Corey, and we're going to continue to follow this. Thank you for sharing that with us. Corey Lewandowski, buy his books. Let Trump be Trump, Trump's Enemies.